Today on the Directory of a Dream Life 50 Plus podcast, I have the very lovely Connie Inukai, who is based in Maryland near Washington. Have I got my geography right? Did you say near Washington?
DC.
Near Washington, DC. And Connie is an inventor, a grandmapreneur, an author, and a caregiver to her two young grandchildren. And obviously living proof that a second act entrepreneur can succeed. It's not too late and you're not too old so at any age. So welcome, Connie. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you so much.
So you haven't always been an inventor, have you? But that's how you've really come into your own over the last few years, haven't you? So what did you do before and how did you get here?
Well, I was a professor at the University of Maryland for 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to teach technical writing to engineers and computer scientists about how to write their reports better.
Right.
And I absolutely loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to inspire my students who were graduating seniors mostly on what to do to be successful in their career, and writing was a big part of it. So actually after I retired, I didn't retire because I had to, because of my age, even though I was 68 when I retired.
Right.
I didn't retire because of that. I retired because I had so many ideas of my own, and instead of just inspiring students, I decided to inspire myself.
Wow.
Other people my age.
Well, that's brilliant, because a lot of people do have ideas, but they no longer have the passion to see them through, because you think, oh, if I'd thought about it 30 years ago, well, maybe. But a lot of people forget that 60, 70, we could be here for another 20, 30 years. So
Exactly.
Why not be doing what you want to do?
And passion has no age.
Exactly. Yeah. So how did you tell us what it is that you invented and how you got the wherewithal to get it produced and out to the market?
Well, I got the idea because I used to go out to eat with my friends and or with my family, and nobody could read the menu because the print was too small and the restaurant was too dark. So we had to pass around reading glasses, or we would hold the menu like this. Or like this.
That's me.
or take off our glasses to read it. And I said, there's got to be something. And so I invented Tip and Split. This is my product. Can you see it? Yes.
Yeah. For anyone listening on the podcast rather than seeing the video, it looks like a calculator with an extension on top, doesn't it? That's a magnifying glass, isn't it?
Right. It's got a magnifying glass, and it also has a light. So you can shine it if the restaurant is too dark, because I used to walk around the restaurant and look for a candle because I could not see it.
Yeah.
And so this is great for reading the menu, the bill. And then I added on a few little fun things to it. And I added a calculating device. It's not a real calculator, but you can push a button, put in the amount of the bill, push enter, put in a tip, say 18, 20, 21, whatever you want to do. Push enter, it will tell you the tip. You push enter, it will tell you the total bill plus the tip. Then you can push enter again, and it'll ask you if you want to split it, and you can say 5. And it'll tell you what each person.
Right, so like 5 people in your party. Yeah. Wow, that is brilliant. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I would think a lot of ages could do with the calculator part anyway, couldn't they?
Well, yeah. I started inventing it right before I retired. And I told my students about it, and they said it's not just for older people.
Yeah.
Okay. It's also for us. First of all, when we've had too much to drink, we can't add anything.
Good point.
And second of all, younger people really don't know math.
Yeah.
They're so used to calculators.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So I invented this because a lot of people, there are apps that do the calculating devices.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people my age don't want to use a smartphone in a restaurant when we're eating. So this is to keep the phone away from the table, so you can just not be tempted to look at your text messages and your emails and all that. So that's what
Mm-hmm.
this is for.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's fantastic. But
Thank you.
having that idea, because you had the problem, so you found a solution.
Yes.
How did you manage to sort of find, I call it the wherewithal, it's such an old lady word, find the wherewithal to get it into production?
Well, the best thing that happened to me is I'm divorced from a brilliant mathematician,
Right.
and we're friends. And
Mm-hmm.
he can do anything. He's an electrical engineer and a mathematician. And I told him my idea, and he developed all the algorithms to make it run smoothly.
Uh-huh.
So it's just push a button this, push a button that, push a
Yeah.
button this. And so then I mean, he's been working with me the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found a manufacturer to produce it, manufacturer in China to produce
Uh-huh.
it. And then I started making it.
Right. So was it easy to find a manufacturer because of your husband's contacts, or was it because you just found the right people on the internet searching for manufacturers, etc.?
Well, I really have to tell you, Marcia, it was a horror working with a manufacturer, because
Mm-hmm.
my manufacturer was terrible.
Right.
And they just couldn't get it right. And I met them at a trade show because the man was speaking about manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided he must be good.
Yeah.
So I hired him, and he said, this is engineering 101. And it took him 1.5 years
Mm-hmm.
to develop it.
Right.
And then I got my product on The View. It's a TV show. You may not, it's part of Good Morning America.
All
Have you
right.
heard it? I got my product on, and right before it went on, he sent me my product, and it was defective.
Oh.
And so I've had a lot of problems, and I had
Right.
to take off a little time
Yeah.
till I didn't want to sell it until it was perfect. And now they're perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're perfect.
A new manufacturer and all is well.
Yes. Yes.
Excellent. And you mentioned then that you got on TV with it, and I believe you've been on QVC and other big media outlets. How did you get on there?
Well, I'm very persistent. And so I went to a trade show for inventors in Pittsburgh.
Right.
And they had QVC there. You could pitch to them.
Yeah.
And the first time I went there, I pitched, but my manufacturer didn't even have my product.
Right.
So I just showed pictures of it. And everybody loved it. And they said, why don't you come back when you have your product?
Uh-huh.
So a year later, I went back with my product, and they said, do you remember me? I was here last year. And they said, yes, we do. And they said, well, you told me to come back with my product, so here it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And they loved it, and they put me on QVC.
Fantastic. There you go. See, we'll just see all these opportunities as well. If you'd come up with this idea, say, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, all these opportunities just wouldn't have been there anyway, would they?
Right.
It's a whole new world.
I'm still going. I have another invention that I decided not to go with because it's too difficult for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's for older people. It's something that works like an airbag. So when you fall down, you don't break your hip or your shoulder.
Oh, nice.
And I thought that's a really good thing, because that's the biggest fear of people who are getting older, is falling down.
Mm-hmm. It is, yeah.
I'm telling you about it, and this is the first time I'm saying it out loud. But I didn't go, I didn't pursue it because I just don't have the technology to back it.
Right.
It's very expensive. But I have other ideas too.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's, yeah. I love that idea. And it's such a simple idea. Like you say, it's hard to bring it to life, but
Right.
in theory, it's a simple idea, isn't it? That's
Right.
amazing.
Well,
Yeah.
I tried to work with the people who invented the Life Alert.
What's Life Alert?
Life Alert is a little button that somebody holds and you push it and it calls the ambulance. And it calls
Oh, right. Yes.
families.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be wonderful because my invention also had a little button on it that you can
Yeah.
push for help. So this is a great idea, and I would love to do it someday, but I think that I'm busy with so many other things.
Yeah. I was going to say, if anybody listening thinks, well, yes, it's fine for you. You're retired and you've got loads of time on your hands. You haven't, have you? Because am I right in thinking you've got your 2 young grandchildren living with you?
Yes, I do. And we're doing homeschooling now and having fun.
Right.
So I just told them that I'm going to be unavailable for a little bit of time.
Right. Yeah.
So they can come here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have so many ideas, and I think a lot of people don't think that way.
Mm-hmm.
That everybody's got an idea. Everybody has an idea. Well, not everybody, but I've read that 3 out of 10 people have an invention in their head that they've never followed through on.
Yeah. Well, Les Brown, I don't know do you know Les Brown, the
Yes.
motivational speaker? Who I've met, and he says that the cemetery is the richest place on earth because that's where all the ideas are buried. The people who had these fantastic ideas for books or paintings or inventions, and they just took them to the grave with them.
Right. Well, I'm not going to be one of those.
You're definitely not one of those. And tell me about this book that you wrote, because I think that is fantastic.
Hold on 1 second. I should have had it right here. Hold on.
Oh, right. Okay.
So sorry, I should have had this ready. This is a book that I wrote for other inventors because I had a lot of fun inventing it. So I wrote a book to help other people. How I got my product on QVC, the Today Show, The View, and more in my retirement. So it's a 25-page book, and you asked for offers. So if anybody wants to email me on my website, I will send them a free PDF of this book.
Oh, I'll be doing that.
Okay.
I think that's fantastic because a lot of the books are not written for us, for our age, are they? You've written it with our age group in mind.
Yeah, I think you're younger than I am, but thank you.
Anyone over 50.
Right. So
everyone listening to this podcast is over 50 or around that age.
Okay, well, that's great. So I wrote that book, and I'm just having the time of my life. And I started speaking recently, so a lot of people want to know about how I got my publicity. So that's why I wrote my book.
Yeah. Wow. And how are you doing over in the States now with coronavirus? I mean, we're very fortunate in the respect that we have the internet, we have phones, we have everything. We're not out of contact, are we? It is a very strange life that we're all living at the moment. How is that affecting you and your family?
We're having a lot of time together, and I am absolutely loving it, but I'm doing one more thing.
What's that?
I used to be a writing teacher, so I'm writing a book about my life. Not really all about inventing, but it's about me and my parents and my grandparents and all of my experiences, so that I can pass it down to future generations.
Yeah.
And the reason I thought about this, Marcia, is that I thought about it way before the coronavirus, but I thought about it when Kobe Bryant died. You're familiar with him, right? He
I'm
was a big
not.
basketball player.
Ah, right.
And he
Okay.
died in a plane crash with his daughter.
Uh-huh.
And everybody, his future generations are going to know everything about him
Yeah.
because he was in the news all the time.
Yes. Was it not that long ago?
It was not that long ago.
Right. Right. I remember the story. I just didn't remember
Right.
his
So
name.
I
Yes.
thought his family, his future generations are going to know all about him. But what about the ordinary people like us?
Mm,
You know, who's going to know about us?
mm.
So I decided to write my story so my children will know about me.
Yeah, yeah, excellent. I mean, I keep pushing my grandchildren to realize that they are living a huge moment in history.
Oh,
So
yeah.
write everything down, and I'm collecting newspaper headlines, etc., for my one of my grandsons who's putting a memory book together,
Uh-huh.
and just what we're doing now and how we've had to adapt our lives will be a huge part of history in a few years' time, won't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, this is really, really something. And most people like have the time to do this.
Mm,
So I spent weeks gathering up all of my old pictures because
mm-hmm.
the new ones are on digital on the phone. But I learned how to put the old photo albums into digital format.
Right.
And I actually just started a Facebook group to help anybody who wants to write their own story that I would help them.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, well, send me the link for that as well, because nobody's got any plans at the minute other than
Right.
than writing.
So you're asking how this affects me. So I'm trying to put my skills to use because I
Yeah.
was a writing teacher
Mm-hmm.
and writing is very important. And I'm retired now and I
Yeah.
have 5 grandchildren and I want to
Right.
make sure that they remember me.
Of course, yeah, yeah. I think that's an amazing idea to just the life of somebody with, sorry, tracking back your own family life.
Right, right, right.
Because this last 100 years, if you think, life has changed beyond all recognition, hasn't it? So goodness knows what's going to happen in the next 100.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Well,
yeah.
I'm having a very fun time learning now about how to make a book, how to use templates to organize it, what kind of text to write. Most of
Yeah.
my pictures are gonna have captions on them,
Mm-hmm.
so people will remember it.
Yeah,
Me.
yeah, yeah. Oh, it's so important. I love history and family history, especially. There are lots of surprises, aren't there? Are you
Right.
doing it through like Ancestry or a website like that, or just from the knowledge that you've got that's been passed down?
Well, I'm only doing my grandparents
Right.
and my parents. I'm doing a lot about my parents. Not a
Yeah.
lot, maybe
Yeah.
2 pages for each parent.
Right. So it's from information that you know already.
And
Yeah.
pictures
Yeah.
that I have of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And
Ah.
then I haven't gotten yet to. I'm still at high school.
Right. Oh, talking about that, now seems like a good time to ask you the question that I do ask most of my guests, because I say most because I have forgotten on a couple of occasions. But if you were to meet the teenage Connie and she could see you now and what you're doing now, what would she think? Yes, I'm really proud of the way we did that. And what might she think? I wish we'd approached that differently going through our life.
That's a very interesting question, and I'll tell you. One of my pivotal points in my teenage years was I had a boyfriend who died in a car crash.
Right.
And it was devastating to me because he was brilliant. I was so happy to have known him,
Mm-hmm.
and he died. And he was so good. He was 16 years old and already planned to go to Yale.
Wow.
And he was much more brilliant than I ever was. So I sort of made a commitment that I would do everything that he can't do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I am doing my job. I think I'm fulfilling my commitment to Clayton. And
Yeah.
he's actually a big part of not a big part, he's like 2 pages in my book.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of influenced your perspective going forward all through your life then.
You know, right now, we always think about, you know, like life is short, make the most of it. But I really learned that at age 15.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness.
So that's an interesting question. Yeah. So, you know, so I'm still getting through my high school years.
Yeah. And is there anything that you think, looking back, the teenage you might have thought, I think we should have done that differently?
I can't.
Not necessarily regrets, because you shouldn't regret anything, should you? It's gone. You've done it. So, but you know,
I honestly don't think so. I think I tried to do everything possible.
Excellent. Well, I don't know what else to say. That you are absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you. I think you are too.
To have the passion to bring this tip and split to the market and promote it the way you have on like primetime TV, etc. It's absolutely inspiring.
Thank you. Well, Marcia, that was just the start. That was just to launch. That was just to launch.
Right. And there's more.
That was just to launch. That was my idea. I have more ideas.
Yeah.
That was just to get me into that entrepreneurial mind shift.
Yeah. Wow. But please let us have the link for this Facebook group that you've set up to help people with the writing, because I think that is such a fantastic idea, particularly now when we might be reflecting and we might have more time on our hands than we're looking for. So I'd love to be able to share that with our listeners.
Okay, it's on Facebook. It's called Write Your Selfie.
Write Your Selfie. Oh, I like what you did there.
Don't you? Yes. Yeah, I trademarked the name. I because of my tip and split, I learned how to do a trademark.
Yeah.
So I trademarked Write Your Selfie.
Fantastic. Oh, I love that name. Yeah, we shall be in there. I will be in that group, definitely, because like you say, everything's just changed now, and I've still got, there's a big list of things that I want to do in this time. But I think just having a driving force and having someone to be accountable to as well.
Right. That's the main
thing. It's going to help, isn't it?
Yeah, you can write your own book. Anybody can write their own book, but I'm just giving them the impetus to start.
Yeah.
And then to do feedback and to make them accountable. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, like, well, thank you. Sorry, go on.
Maybe every week, I check in with them. Do you have any questions? How are you doing? Let me see what you've done.
Yeah, that's amazing. So that's so helpful. Because I think, if you're not a writer or it's years since you wrote, what sounds all right to you might not come across actually on paper, and unless you've got someone else looking at it.
Well, I'm basing it on pictures.
You're basing it what, sorry?
On pictures.
All right.
We all have photo albums.
Yes.
So I'm basing it on pictures to tell their life.
Ah. Oh, wow. This sounds great.
That's why I write
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it already. Right. Okay. So I'm going to go off and find your Facebook group, and it's early morning there, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
We're
early.
We're mid-afternoon. So obviously I'm not going anywhere. We're on lockdown, but I would like to wish you a very happy day, and thank you so much for coming on to the Directory of a Dream Life 50 Plus podcast, and I hope
thank you so much.
Have a lovely time with your grandchildren, locked in with your grandchildren.
Yes, I can't think of any more fun people to be locked in with.
I know, they're brilliant, aren't they? I saw an interview of you where one of them walked in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're so cute. And like I say, it's just life, isn't it? You can't necessarily...
nothing I can do. I'm not going to go spank her.
No, that's it.
Grandma.
Oh, thank you so much, Connie. And let's keep in touch.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you so much. So anybody who wants my book can email me. It's on, I think it's on my website. You
Yeah.
can email me. Anybody who wants to buy my product, I'm selling it for $10. That's a really good bargain. And then anybody who wants to write their selfie, that's great. And anybody who wants to talk about inventing to me,
Right, yes.
with me.
Okay. I'm going to put all the links in the show notes. But yes, you said that's a special deal, isn't it, on the product itself?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
I sold it for $19.95.
It was $19.95.
And now it's $10. I just changed the price for you.
Fantastic. That's what we like to hear. So yeah, as I say, all the links will be in the show notes. And as I say, do keep in touch. And
Thank you so much.
Have a lovely day. Thank you.
Too.
Thanks,
You too.
Connie.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.